Alright, so I've created my science department page and I am ready to add some content or a post. You can obviously add a post to any page, it doesn't have to be a brand new one. So I'm going to show you two ways how to add posts. The first one is through the commands menu, which is down here in the bottom left hand corner. So go ahead and click that, and then you want to select the third option, create post. And this is going to take me to a menu that shows me all the different post types I can create. You can use your manual to learn about each one, but for this particular example I am going to select the basic post, which is the first one right here. And I want to make sure I select the post, not click the edit button. So don't do that, just select post. And it's going to take us to our editing menu. This is set up like a very simple word processor. There are a couple fields you need to enter, and then there's a big text box right here where you're going to enter most of your content. And once you enter it, you can actually use this little formatting menu to format it in however way you want. Now, some of you will be creating new content by just typing it in. Some of you also may be using a Word doc or a PDF you have and copying content into the website. So for this particular example, I'm going to copy content and show you how that works. So I am going to do a post called About Our Science Department. And when you're creating a new page or going through the pages that are already existing on the template, I suggest you start with kind of an introduction on each page. So that's what this will be. So I have my title here at the top. I don't really need a subtitle in this case. And now I'm going to use my Word doc to copy in the actual meat of the post. So here I go. I've got a couple sentences about our science department and then even a few bullet points. So I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to paste it in. And you'll see that all of the formatting has been removed. So the paragraph break is no longer there. And then these bullet points, it's actually not formatted like a bullet point. It actually brought in the bullet, but it isn't indented and it doesn't look very nice. So I am actually going to remove all of them and then reformat it. Anytime you're bringing in content, the website is actually going to strip it of all its formatting because it has to know what formatting should be there. So it's going to make you redo that so it can program the website to look correctly in the background. So I know that the first paragraph is right after this sentence, so I'm going to hit the return, and then I'm going to get rid of that extra return right there. And you'll see that there's actually like a box now around that first paragraph, and then it says P here in the upper left-hand corner. That just means that that full piece of content is a paragraph, and it's going to be formatted like a paragraph with paragraph breaks. So that's what it's letting you know with that box. So here's my second one, but actually it's only one piece, and then it's a whole bunch of bullets. So I'm actually going to highlight the bullets, and then I'm going to go up here to my formatting menu and hit the bullet button. And you'll see when I do that, it indents them, it spaces it correctly so it looks nice. It does all that stuff for me. So now that I've formatted it, I need to do a few more things before I can save and look at this post. So on the right-hand side, I have this section that says, in which section should this post appear? And this is another listing of all the pages on the website. So you can actually enter or create a post that appears on more than one page. I could select everything, and this post would be on every page. So sometimes you have something like that makes a lot of sense. For this particular example, the only place that this post should go is on the science department page. So I'm going to scroll down to my academic section and select science department. Now, if you forget to select a section for this post to appear on, your post kind of floats out in the universe and it doesn't really have a home. So I will teach you later on how you can go about finding it, but just remember you need to tell it where it needs to go, otherwise it's going to be a little bit harder for you to find it later. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here underneath our text box, and you'll see I have a variety of options here of kind of auxiliary information I can add to this post. The first one is images. So you can always add an image to a post, and the website will actually automatically format it correctly. So you don't have to worry about sizing a photo or doing anything like that. There's a standard practice of how it's going to look. And in future tutorials, I'll show you how to use some of these other options, including file attachments and related links and calendar dates, etc. But I do have an image I want to add to this particular page, or to this particular post, excuse me. So I am going to browse on my computer, and I am going to find the image I want to add, which is actually a little picture of a chemistry lab. And I'm going to open it. And then I need to actually upload it to the website. So I need to make sure I hit the second button right here that says upload. And once it's uploaded, it's going to give me a little thumbnail of what the image looks like. And then it gives me a box where I can actually add a caption if I want, explaining what's in the photo. But for this particular example, I really don't need to do that. So I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom and hit save. And by doing that, it's actually going to show me a draft version of this post. You always want to look at your posts in a draft format before you publish them, because you have to make sure that, you know, it's formatted correctly, there's no spelling mistakes, all sorts of things. And if you publish it, that means that the general public can see it. So you always want to do that before in a draft mode, so it's only visible to you and other administrators. Okay, so I've added this post, and you'll see here at the top I get another little green bar telling me what just happened, so I can click that for it to disappear. You'll notice that this post has this kind of slightly orange background to it, and that is again telling you this is a draft post. This has not been published live on the website, which is exactly what we want. You'll also notice that the image is automatically put in up here with the content, and it has the bullets down below, so everything that I wanted on here is here. And I want to mention this is actually the expanded post view, so this is not how it's going to appear definitely on the page. It actually will look slightly different. So if you see over here on the side, it actually says this item appears on, and then it says Science Department. So I can click on that link to go back to the Science Department page, and you'll see that this particular piece has actually been shortened. And if you think about any sort of news website you go to, whether it's CNN, SACB, whatever it is, you'll remember that a lot of times papers will list articles, and they'll give you maybe the first couple sentences, maybe even the first paragraph, and then it adds like a little read more, and then it goes to the next article. And this allows you to scroll through all the content that is available on the website really easily. And if you want to read the whole article, you just hit the read more, and you're able to go and read the whole article, and then you can press back and go find something else to read. Well, that's kind of what our website does. It has a particular format that it is always going to take for the pages, and it comes up with, there's only so many characters that it will allow on a post before it's automatically going to add this read more button on the page. And it does this so that you don't have a really long post on your page, and the viewer can scroll through all the different posts and see which one they want to actually read, and then they can click the read more and go read it. So that's what it's done here. Now, you do have the option of changing where this read more goes. Even though it's an automatic feature, you do have a manual setting. So I will show you how to make that change in a minute, because you'll notice that it has added it right after the colon where the bullet points would be, and that's kind of a weird space for it. I'd rather have it right after the first paragraph, perhaps. Okay, so I've looked at this post in both views, on the Science Department page and then on the expanded post view. And now I'm ready to go back and edit, and I think I do want to change my read more area to be in a slightly different place. So you'll notice up here in the upper right hand corner there's a little notepad icon. You want to click on that, and then you're given a whole option of items. More than likely the only one you're ever going to use is this one called Edit This Post, and this takes us back to the editing menu. So you just want to click that. And again, we go right back to the editing menu, and you can make any changes you need to. Again, I'm going to change where that read more, or what we call the teaser, would appear. So I want it to be right after this first paragraph. So I'm going to put my cursor right there, and then I'm going to go up to the formatting menu and I'm going to select this last option right here that is actually called the teaser button. So this is where we're going to put the separation between what is going to appear on that front page and then where that read more button is going to be, so someone can click on it to read the entire body of content of your post. So I'm going to click that, and you'll notice then it adds this little red area that says break. So now I want to go back and actually see what that's going to look like. So I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom, and I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to get a little bar at the top again that says what I just did. So I'm going to click that off. And now you'll see that that read more button appears right here after that first paragraph. And again, if I click it, I'm going to go see the expanded view, which will include the remaining content. So that all looks really good. So I'm just going to go back so I can go back to the science department page. And I'm pretty much ready to go now. So I'm going to go and hit the notepad icon again and hit edit this post. And now I'm ready to publish. So I'm going to go down to the very bottom. And you'll notice here on the tabs, the final tab is called Publishing Options. So you want to select that. And it gives me a couple options here. The first one is that you can publish it. So by clicking that button, I'm going to save it, and then the post is going to become live. But there are a few more options I want to go over with you. So if I say I'm working on some posts that I don't really want to be published until after winter break, or later in the year even, I can actually use this publish on feature and select a date in the future, whether it be next year or in December, and actually even pick a time. You got to use your numbers and your arrow key to add the exact time. And if I hit save, then this post will stay a draft until December 20th at 2:15 p.m. and then the website will automatically publish it for you. So this, again, can be a really great feature for certain types of posts that would only make sense to be live on your website at certain times of the year. So I'm going to exit out of that because I just want to publish this now. And I'll also mention, while we're here, there's this second section called Archive. So you have a draft post and you publish it for it to go live. Well, maybe after a certain amount of time, that post no longer is relevant and doesn't need to be on the website anymore. Again, maybe it's about a particular event or a time of the year, or maybe it's just something from last year and you just no longer need it because it's a new school year, something like that. You may not want to delete it because there could be an instance where someone needs to go refer to that information again, or if you are, if it's an event that happens every year, you may want the old post to still be on the website so that you can refer to it the following year and actually even make a copy of it, so that you don't have to start from scratch and have a post already on the website that you can make slight changes to as far as the date and the time and maybe a new image, and then you're ready to go. So when a post is no longer relevant on a website, you can actually archive it, and you can select the second button. And again, all that does is it takes it off a page of your website that it was on, but it's still on the website. You still can search for it. So for instance, if you had something about a particular event that was featuring, some kids, and you archived it because it's over and you didn't need it on the website anymore, but a parent, maybe one of the kids, wants to go access it and print the pictures or something like that, they can search for that event in the search bar and find it. And again, but then it's not taking up any valuable real estate actually being on your page. So again, it's a great feature. And just like the published options, if you uncheck the second box, you can actually select when this particular post is archived on. So you could schedule a post to actually be published, and then you can select a post when it can actually be archived as well. So you can really set up a lot of the stuff on your website way in advance. So I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm just going to keep that first box checked because for this instance, I just want it to be published, and I'm not worried about when it's going to be archived. It may never be archived because it's just a simple post about the science department. And I'm going to click Save. And you'll now notice that that orange background has been removed. So this post is now live on the website.